In 1962, a World Cup match got so violent that the police had to enter the field 4 different times. Not once, not twice, 4 different times. And this wasn't because fans stormed the field. It wasn't because someone stole the trophy. It was because the players on the field were basically trying to delete each other from existence. This was Chile versus Italy, and the match became so infamous that people still call it the Battle of Santiago, which is already a bad sign, because if your soccer game has the word battle in it, something has gone horribly wrong. To understand why this game became such a disaster, you have to go back before the match even started. Chile was hosting the 1962 World Cup, but just 2 years earlier, Chile had been hit by the strongest earthquake ever recorded. So the country was already dealing with destroyed buildings, damaged roads, and the massive pressure of hosting the biggest soccer tournament on Earth. And then some Italian journalists showed up and basically wrote, "Wow, this place looks terrible. Are we sure they should be hosting this?" Which, as you can imagine, did not make the Chilean public very happy. Because there is nothing people love more before an international sports match than being insulted by foreign newspapers. The Chilean newspapers fired back. The fans got angry. The players got angry. Everyone got angry. So by the time Chile and Italy actually walked onto the field, this was less of a soccer match and more of a diplomatic incident wearing cleats. And the referee was an Englishman named Ken Aston. Poor Ken Aston. This man thought he was showing up to referee a soccer game. Instead, he accidentally became a substitute teacher during prison recess. The match started, and almost immediately, things got stupid. Within seconds, players were already fouling each other. Not "oops, I tripped you" fouls, more like "I have confused soccer with medieval combat" fouls. The ball would roll 5 feet, a player would get kicked, the referee would blow the whistle, everyone would yell, then the game would restart, and then the exact same thing would happen again. Eventually, Italy's Giorgio Farini was sent off, which sounds normal, except Farini refused to leave. He was basically like, "No thank you, I have decided I still play soccer." So the police had to come onto the field and physically remove him. Imagine watching a World Cup match and suddenly the cops are escorting a player away like he tried to steal a TV from Best Buy. And somehow, that was not even the peak of the chaos, because the game kept going. Players were throwing punches, players were kicking each other. At one point, Chile's Lionel Sanchez punched an Italian player, and he stayed in the game. Later, another Italian player, Mario David, kicked Sanchez in the head. And he got sent off, so apparently the unofficial rule was punching. Maybe. Flying head kick, that's where we draw the line. The referee was trying to control everything, but there was no yellow card system yet. That's important. Today, a referee can give a yellow card as a warning, then a red card if the player keeps acting like a raccoon trapped in a soccer jersey. But back then, there was no clear visual system. The referee basically had to walk up to angry international athletes and explain, "Excuse me, sir, please stop committing crimes." And that did not work very well, so Ken Aston spent the whole match running around, blowing his whistle, separating fights, and trying to prevent World War III from happening inside a soccer stadium. The police reportedly had to intervene 4 times. 4 in one soccer game. Most matches have 4 corner kicks. This one had 4 police appearances. And the craziest part is that the game did not get cancelled. They just kept playing. Because apparently in 1962, once a World Cup match started, it did not matter if the game turned into a bar fight with uniforms. You finished the 90 minutes. Eventually Chile scored. Then Chile scored again. And they won 2-0. Which means after all of that violence, the official result was still just a normal-looking soccer score. Chile 2, Italy 0, crime scene 1, dignity negative 500. But the Battle of Santiago became legendary for all the wrong reasons. A British commentator introduced the highlights by basically calling it one of the most stupid, appalling, disgusting, and disgraceful soccer matches ever shown. Which is a very fancy way of saying this game was absolute garbage. But somehow, this disaster actually changed soccer. Because Ken Aston, the referee who had to survive this nonsense, later helped develop the yellow and red card system. The idea was simple. Instead of relying on language, arguments, and angry hand gestures, Referees could use universal colors. Yellow means warning. Red means leave. Basically, soccer needed traffic lights because players could not behave like adults. And that system eventually became one of the most recognizable parts of the sport. So in a weird way, one of the ugliest matches in World Cup history helped create one of soccer's most important rules, which means every time you see a player get a yellow card for wasting time, or a red card for absolutely destroying someone's ankles, you can partially thank a 1962 game where Chile and Italy decided to play soccer like it was a family argument at Thanksgiving. The World Cup gives us amazing goals, legendary players, beautiful moments, and sometimes a match so violent that the police have to walk onto the field and remind everyone that soccer is technically not supposed to be a felony. So the next time someone says soccer is boring, just tell them about the time the World Cup accidentally became a cage match.